welcome back to the Blonde Informants podcast. This microphone is like straight up in my face. Hope you're having a good day. This is Karen.
And Mariah.
And today's episode, we are going to be talking about a couple of fun things like the Oura Ring. Bum, bum, bum. But before we dive into that, we want to remind you to go down and hit the subscribe button. Help us get to 50 subscribers.
We just want 50.
We just want 50. Come on. Share with your friends. Help us get there. My gosh, we're just two girls on a mission to have some fun and teach people a thing or two. So come on, subscribe.
And
then, and leave us comments. And share with your friends and family, okay? Yes. And with that, let's dive into today's episode. Tell us about your journey with, well, first off, the Oura Ring. Yes. What is it?
Okay. Yeah, so for my birthday, my wonderful mother, she got me the coolest gift ever, and it is my Oura Ring. Ooh, I've wanted this for so long. I first heard about it from Alex Clark, and yeah, there's a lot of reasons I decided I wanted the Oura Ring instead of like a Fitbit or Apple Watch. You know, my husband's got the Apple Watch, you got the Apple Watch, but there was a couple of reasons I wanted the Oura Ring. So first, I guess we could kind of talk about what the Oura Ring is.
Sure.
So,
yeah.
It's a ring. And you wear it just like a normal ring. And I can say I've been wearing it for, July 30th. Let's see.
Why don't you just give people your birthday?
Yeah.
Would you like to give them your social security number too?
Sorry. Well, whatever. So I've been wearing it like a couple weeks now. Okay. So it's been a couple weeks. I wear it every single day. I shower with it on. I wash my hands with it all the time. I do housework, clean baby, messes, all the things, and it is totally fine. It's like very durable. I don't think it's ever going to have issues, which was something I kind of worried about. It's like, can you walk, can you swim with it on? Yes. All the things. You can just wear it like a normal ring. It's super easy. You charge it, I've charged it twice since I've had it.
Mm-hmm.
It stays charged. I don't really think about it. Super easy. And
it doesn't have Bluetooth, right?
So it does have Bluetooth, but the really cool thing about it is if you're worried about like EMF emissions and things like that, you can turn it on airplane mode and it still is tracking your data, but it doesn't. I think what it does is it holds on to that data
and then it dumps it.
Yeah, until you turn the airplane mode off, and then it just transfers it to your phone.
Nice.
So,
that's great.
So it's really good. It's got a lot of integration. So basically, the Oura Ring, it tracks several metrics, and it has a lot of beta testing right now. So it can track like your symptoms, your sleep, your heart rate, all the things. I'm going to have my phone on me so I can kind of go through like what the different things are. But there's 3 different kinds of Oura Rings. I think I have the Heritage, and you can get it in like gold. The only thing I will say is it's a little big. So, I mean, you can kind of see it's a little chunky, but I mean, you get used to it. And I'm not a jewelry person. I lose it all. I lost my wedding ring. Okay. I cannot be trusted with nice things, and I've kept it on, and I'm not going to lose it. So there's that. So it's really cool. And right now I could say that it is really helping me with my journey that I'm taking this August. What were we calling it? High Protein August.
Yeah.
Something like that. We had a challenge name for it, and I'm doing it, and this is helping a lot. So, what kind of things are you interested in about the Oura Ring? Because you're thinking about getting it, right?
Possibly, yeah. I mean, because I currently use the Apple Watch, and it gives me a lot of data, and I'm pretty happy with it because I'm a person that loves data. I mean, how do you make changes without seeing data? Like, I believe every person should be getting blood tests and getting all sorts of data points, because how can you measure whether you're doing good or bad?
Yeah.
But I think the interesting thing for you was that it measures stress levels, because really because your hormones are so wacky because of PCOS.
Yeah.
Figuring out like what are your stress levels? When are they spiking? Is it tied to things that you're doing or eating? Is there any correlations? Because then you can start to modify those things. So I think that was a really cool feature.
Yeah. And I think we discovered that I specifically that one day I fell off the wagon a little bit. I fell off the wagon. I did not eat high protein. Well, I ate high protein, but I also had some carbs, extra carbs that I should not have had. And we saw my stress levels were detected, spiked, like in a major way, like directly correlating shortly after I ate whatever bad food it was.
Yeah, that was
We're
crazy.
not going to talk about what it was. But yeah, that was really interesting. So like I've been testing it too. Like I try to see like, is it accurate? Like, is it actually tracking the things that it says it can track? And so far it's been very accurate and really cool. So
yeah, and I think even tracking like your workouts, where your heart rate is, you know, we go to Rockbox and stuff. So yeah, I think that's all really good.
Yeah. So so maybe our editor Jay can pull up some of the pictures, and so you guys can kind of see what I see when I open up the app and everything. Setup was really easy.
Take screenshots of it and send it to our editor.
Yes. Yeah, I will. Yeah, so the setup was easy. There is a membership fee, so you pay $5.99 a month, or I think it's like $69 annually. But it's covered by HSA, which is how I'm gonna pay for the membership, so that's really cool. Yeah, so setup was easy. And then once you're set up, you got the ring, it's charged, you're wearing it. It does take about, I would say, give it 2 full weeks of wear and you're going to get all of the metrics, but it's going to take time because it's tracking your trends. So when you first open up the app, the first thing you're going to see is your activity goal. And the thing with the goal is it's tracking like if you've done housework, if you've been walking around, it tracks your steps. It factors in all of those things and how many calories you've burned just doing everyday activities. And it gives you a goal. And right now mine is set to 500. I don't really know what like the ideal baseline is for that. So I need to look into that more. But my goal is set at 500. You can make it higher or lower. And it tells you kind of over time what your best baseline is and how much inactive time you've had, like resting or just chilling out, and you know, kind of gives you like a score. So that's really cool. It's just like a brief overview. And then the next thing you look at is your daytime stress, and it tells you whether you're engaged or resting. So like right now it says I'm engaged because I'm doing something, you know, I'm talking to a microphone and a camera. So it's going to say I'm engaged. And the cool thing too is like with each metric that it gives you, you can click into it and you can like ask the chat thing questions, or you can like look into deeper insights that the app has. So I need to look into who made this app because they're very like on the same page that we are. Like they understand like you need to meditate, rest, work out. Like they're very into like natural wellness. So I need to look into that. But yeah, so it tells you like whether you're engaged or rested. And then it talks about heart rate. So you can kind of see like your general heart rate trends throughout the day and while you're sleeping. So when you go into that, it tells you your current heart rate, and then it goes into your restorative time. So how much time during the day you're spending like restoring your sleep or like resting, how much you're stressed, how much you're sleeping, and then workouts and just general daytime heart rate. So it gives you all those averages.
Does it give you a resting heart rate?
Yes, it does. It does. And it grades like each day.
What is yours?
Let me check. Let me see. My resting heart rate is 77.
Ooh, that's high.
Yeah, it's always high. Mine is always high. It's lower than it used to be, so I mean, that's good.
Yeah, we got to continue to work on that. The lower the better.
Yeah, and the cool thing with that is it talks about your heart health, and it talks about like what your cardiovascular age is, which is kind of like your scale, which you know, that's kind of a cool thing that you got recently. And then it talks about your cardio capacity. I don't know what the science is behind that. I don't know if I showed
your VO2 max.
Yeah.
So that's really important to measure over time. You want to see improvements in that.
Yeah.
So
mine says it's low, so that's not good. But it's also still tracking, and I think for that's going to take like a month for it to get like a really good baseline for that.
Yeah.
But you can take like a walking test. So that one day when I was pacing back and forth and Damien was like, "What are you doing?" That's what I was doing. I was taking the walking test, which probably would be better done outside, but it's okay. It tells you, and then obviously there's little tips on like how to improve your, cardio health and all that good stuff. And then the cool thing too is it offers the option to put in tags. I'm really bad about like putting in the tags every day, but you can also set times. So like I know like in the morning I drink a cup of coffee. I feed the baby, I take care of the baby, I do some housework, I do this, I do a workout, like generally the same time every day, so I can set tags to like happen at certain times. And it's good because it tracks it over time, and then it like shows you in a graph like, okay, when you generally are drinking coffee in the morning, you're going to have like an energy spike, and then it can show you like when you start to kind of go down from that spike from your heart rate. And it just shows you like it lets you see the trends based on what you specifically do every day at certain times. So if I get better about the tags, I could really see like when I drink a cup of my chamomile tea at night, I start to wind down for bed at this time, and this is my ideal bedtime. So those are a couple of the cool little, ways you can track.
Nice.
One of the things I was most excited about, because I'm still postpartum and everything, so like cycle wise, everything is still going to be messed up for a while. But it does track it sort of tracks your basal body temperature, which if anyone who has had infertility, like, what I'm talking about when I talk about basal temperature. I used to have a thermometer and I would take my temperature every day because it tells you like generally you're in like the same temperature when you wake up every day. But some days, like depending on your cycle, you might spike up or you might spike lower. So this is tracking that for me, and I need more time, but so far it can literally detect like a 0.01 difference. So that's going to be really cool. And with that, it can integrate with an app called Natural Cycles, which is kind of like the Flow app or any type of fertility tracking, and can sync up with that. And then the last thing that it checks is the symptom radar, which is like a beta thing they're testing out, which is cool because it can like indicate based on trends when you might be sick. So that's kind of cool for like travel, like our episode that's coming out soon. You can kind of see like, am I getting sick on this trip? You can check on your ring. So, and every time you go into like the different tabs and you want to get more details, like, I mean, they have every graph, chart, data point for all of those different metrics. They really like show you over time these trends, and it is really cool to see. Like I'll put up a couple right now so you guys can kind of see like the different metrics and how detailed it can get. And yeah, it's pretty cool. I use this so far right now, like with the Oura app, I use the Flow app, and then I also use the Lose It app just to track my macros. It's free, so I use those two because they're free. But with all of that data, I have a very good idea of like what I'm eating, what it does, what my sleep looks like, which with a baby that wakes up a lot, like it's kind of nice to see like, okay, to me, sometimes before the Oura app, like I felt like I was tired every day, and I'm like, did I even sleep last night? Now I can actually see like I got like 4 hours of deep sleep last night. So, I think I should be okay today.
Well, and the mental part of it is probably more because the placebo fact of just knowing like, well, actually I did get sleep. Yes. You can actually change your whole mood in your life.
It does. Yeah, it actually does. I haven't even talked to you about that, but like, yeah, like when I see like I did get sleep, then if I'm still tired,
that's very scientific.
Maybe that means like something else is going on. Yeah, but it doesn't mean I didn't get enough sleep. So
right, exactly.
Yeah, it's really cool. It is cool.
And well, I'm glad it was a good present. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
You're the best.
Yes.
Yeah, it was really good.
Well, I think that mixed with getting blood work so you can monitor that over time. And then we did all of your measurements too. Yep. So we did the standard measurements that you do. We did the neck, the waist, the breast, the hips, the biceps, and the thighs. Yeah. And then we also did an analysis on the scale to see visceral fat. Yeah. Body composition, skeletal muscle. So, I mean, right now you are sitting really good with data. And so now being able to see that over a period of time, you can start to see trends, and you can see, improvements and declines so that you can adjust your lifestyle, which I think is important. So for you listeners out there that are like really struggling with something, you know, whether it's fitness, weight loss, maybe stress, like whatever it might be, hormones, aging, you know, stressful job, whatever it is, if you could just see the data, you might be able to better assess what's going to be the right next step for you. Because the thing is that a lot of us do our own research. We read a lot of books. You get a lot of good ideas. But everything is so customized based on the person and data. What's good for you might not work for me. Right. I mean, your resting heart rate, in order to get it down, what you might need is meditation. What I might need is more sleep. It just varies by people, like what your body responds to. Now, there are some general principles in health and wellness that you can pretty much run the gamut. Right. But the problem is that each one of us has been damaged in some way. So if our bodies all operated perfectly the same, you could say that the advice is pretty universal, but it's not the case. Yeah. Some of us have harmed our thyroid. Some of us have harmed our organs. Some of us have, done metabolic things. So I think data is the key. And I think so it's too. So important. So you would definitely give it a 10 out of 10 on the Oura Ring?
Yeah. I really think that it's like a game changer. And obviously I haven't used it super long yet. Right. And we'll do updates, but I think at the end of August, after I've done, because right now maybe we'll do a separate episode about like the August challenge and everything.
Yeah, at the end of August.
Yeah, and maybe we'll continue it into September. Like we'll just keep going with it. But yeah, I mean, it's been so good and motivating and really cool to track. And it's like an accountability measure that I need, it's like I want to see things change. Right. I want to actually see the data change and things get better for me. So I give it a 10 out of 10. If anyone's thinking about trying it, definitely give it a try. It's an investment, but I really think it might be a good first step for a lot of people who don't know what's going on with their body.
Yeah. I think actually the Apple Watch is probably a good first step. I think it gives you a nice data set to start with. Yeah. But then I think when you're ready to really go to the next level, the Oura Ring sounds like a better investment.
Well, and if you're worried about EMF too, and you like that airplane mode and you like the cycle tracking, I think that the Oura Ring's a good fit.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's lots of reasons to have an Apple Watch, though. It's connected to your phone. It's got your text messaging. I mean, for those of us who work, it's like, it does a lot for us, whereas the Oura Ring is strictly focused on health and wellness. But I think it's a good investment.
I like it because I don't constantly have something like that.
I get that. And I think that's a fair assessment. Well, cool. Well, what we'll do, and of course, we're not affiliates or getting any type of kickback from Oura Ring. This is just an authentic, real assessment of a product. I'm considering getting one, so maybe I'll jump into the Oura Ring.
There's a code. You can refer a friend.
Yeah. Hey, maybe you could share that code with our listeners. Can they get a...
I think you have to send like a link. I don't think I can share like a...
Well, darn, you don't get a discount, but maybe if you send us a comment or like the video and leave your contact information, maybe then we can send it. But you know what? At a minimum, you should like this video and subscribe. Yes. So definitely do that. Well, thank you for sharing the information about the Oura Ring. I think it'll be a fun adventure, and we'll dive into it again in a future episode. But I think that's going to do it for today. We wanted to share with you that new adventure for Mariah and the data that she's been able to pull from that. And she seems to really, really like the Oura Ring. So she's selling me on it.
Yes. Do it.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. All right. To all of our listeners, we will see you next time on the Blonde Informants. Jake, cut that. To all our listeners, be sure to check us out next time on the Blonde Informants podcast. See ya.